that's not right.
No.
All right, we'll go ahead and get the meeting called to order. Any adjustments to the agenda?
No.
Consideration of approval of minutes of regular meeting on July 8th and July 29th, and executive sessions of July 8th and 29th.
Move to approve. Second.
Anthony made a motion to approve. Larry seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries. Consideration of approval of claims.
Okay, in your packets, you had financial claims and reports. The claims are 28,935 through 29,052, and payrolls of July 10 and 24.
28993. Distinguish where it's for Butler's LP and fertilizer, and it says SPHS fertilizer. Is that for the front lawn? Because I thought everything else was taken care of.
It's propane. It says propane 28.1 at $1.37 for 38.50.
Because the memorandum says SPHS fertilizer. I know we contracted with Dirt Dog to take care of everything else.
Well, there is, let's see, $40 one quantity gin Roundup jug. That would be Roundup spray that they use to kill weeds around the building, and the rest of it would be just says quantity 2 vessel gallon at 37 each. Must be, yeah.
While you're in that area, 28992 Red Haven.
Those are the bags that the laptop computers go on.
Okay.
Go in. The carry bags.
28995. CBiz Valuation Group. It's an annual update service. I just don't remember what that's for.
S-Craft, our insurance company, CBiz comes around and does, I'm saying that right, aren't I? CBiz comes around and does the property values for each of the buildings. They come in, take pictures, make notes of the structures and all, and then they go back and determine what the current value of the buildings should be, and then our property casualty insurance is based on those numbers that CBiz does, and they are part of the S-Craft Insurance Group.
Anything else? 29035. It's that cylinder rental. We've talked about this before. We ever figure out where it belongs?
Tracks Air Distribution, cylinder rental.
Cylinder rental for what?
Would that be down in the ag department, Levi? Would you have any idea? Tracks Air cylinder rental.
Last time you looked it up, it was carbon dioxide, right?
We pay that on a monthly basis?
Yes.
At some point, would it be cheaper just to buy our own cylinder instead of paying $31 a month to rent it?
Well, that usually includes already being full. So you rent it, but it's buying the gas part.
Yeah, it's Stargon Stargon S Steel 2015 PSI cylinder 150 CF carbon dioxide 20-pound steel.
And how often do they fill it?
You know, I'm not sure. I'd have to look.
That's one point. We don't know where it's at. We don't know how often we fill it. We just randomly every month say yes to paying $31 for a rental. That we even own it, or do we even have it? Doesn't sound like we even know where it's at.
Says,
Nope.
Well, they sell bottles.
Yeah, because we don't have a CO2 Coke machine anymore, right? Aren't we all bottles?
yeah. We'll make a note of it and we'll pull it and find
I
it.
just say if nothing else, let's call Praxair and find out where this Phantom cylinder is and what it's used for. And if we don't need it, tell them to come pick it up and stop charging us $31. That's all I have.
Larry, you have a question on that one?
Well, I'm trying to find the number of it right now.
29042.
2942. 29042. Yeah, 29042.
Flowers, mulch.
718 for flowers and mulch for the flagpole. Can't we get those donated somewhere? Or have a service group in the school?
I provided the labor, so I did donate that. And Mr. Lowe, I'd be happy to reimburse the corporation if it was easier. I don't know how much it was. I was trying to have graduation outdoors in the rain and trying to make it look as pretty as I possibly could.
It was for graduation.
Yes, sir. Yeah, oh yeah, it was beautiful that day, yeah.
It started off that way, right?
Huh?
It started off
It did, it started out that way.
Levi?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that figure includes the flowers for graduation.
Yeah.
What's the claim to?
It says $718 for flowers and mulch at the flagpole.
What is $718?
No, there's multiple
Okay.
claims here.
It was like maybe $100, but I'll be happy to donate $718 if I need to.
It was,
What
okay.
on this was
It was
700.
geraniums,
Because-
boxwoods, and about 12 bags of mulch. It fit in my truck.
$162 on the reimbursement for flowers and mulch
Okay,
around
there.
flagpole, just 162. And then there were other, here's the big one, which is this. Computrol, when it prints it out, you get one line of reference, and if there are multiple claims, it puts them all under that one line. And that's why you see it that way.
Geraniums went up that much.
Hey, I apologize.
They really went high.
Oh, the bigger claim, there was 556 was the monitor and brackets to hang the monitor in the office on the wall there where you see it where you come in. And so that was all together on the one claim.
So geraniums and mulch.
It was only $100 and some.
I hadn't gone up that route.
Tell Mr. Love he's got the other half.
No, I made him do the labor. I made him help. So.
Because Computrol prints it that way where it's all claims that's listed, and so it looked like the flowers on the tagline there, it looked like the flowers were the $700.
No other questions, I'll make a motion to approve claims 289.35 through 290.52, along with the payroll from 7/10 and 7/24.
Second.
Let's make a motion to approve claims. Anthony seconded, all those in favor? Consideration of personnel report.
Okay, on our personnel report tonight, under resignations, certified resignations, Kelly Stevenson, central teacher. Classified resignations, Kayla West Roberts, Fillmore IA, part-time, Megan Neese, central IA, part-time, and Brandy Meese, central IA, part-time. Under new hires, Laura Solano, middle school teacher, Janet Zimmerman, middle high school teacher, and classified new hires, Jamie Berkmeyer, central IA, Sherry Handley, middle high school custodian, and Gerald Skoog, bus driver. Under ECA, Andrew Waters, head varsity wrestling, Melissa Murphy, middle school cheer coach, Rochelle Custis, high school student council. And under volunteers, Martha Miller, cheer coach, middle high school, Jay Custis, middle high school volleyball coach, and Rebecca Custis, middle high school volleyball coach.
Move to approve.
Motion.
I'll second.
Wes made a motion to approve the personnel report. Craig seconded, all those in favor? Carried. Consideration of bond issues. The next item on the agenda is for the board to hold a project hearing and additional appropriation hearing on the proposed construction project. If you are interested in speaking at the hearing, please make sure you have provided your name and address. After a presentation by the school administration and its advisors, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about both projects. At the hearing, we will ask that each person limit their comments to 3 minutes and that the topic be limited to the proposed projects under consideration. The notice of this project hearing and the additional appropriation hearing was published as legally required on July 21st, 2020 in the Banner Graphic. At this time, I will ask that Stacy Barclay explain the purpose of this hearing.
Pursuant to, and I'll cite the code because I should, pursuant to Indiana Code 20-26737, before a school corporation like South Putnam can spend more than $1 million to build, repair, or alter school buildings that will be financed by lease or bonds, we have to hold a hearing. And then explanations are given of the potential value of the projects to the school corporation, and it needs to be ramped up a little bit. And these are actually just kind of the very beginning of this process, and this will establish the maximum amount that can be spent on finished projects.
We will now hear from Bruce about the process of determining and communicating the project to the community and the need for the project.
Okay, this is project is a GEO bond, and we have a bond that's just going off January, and so it was a 2.9 or just under $3 million bond that we've done some major renovation work around through the corporation, and so it was our desire to not raise taxes as that goes off, to start the next phase with a bond to continue our work on items throughout the corporation that need addressed. And we'll do some specifics here in a second. That's where I need to go on with it.
Yes.
This is where you kind of talk about the different projects that are anticipated.
Okay, we're looking at items such as continued roof replacements and repairs, storage facilities, parking lot rebuilds, and equipment upgrades, including electrical and fire and some of the HVAC equipment that is in need of replacement or addressed here in the very near future. That's you. Board president. No.
Now's when you open the public hearing.
We will now open the public hearing. Remember, if you would like to speak, please sign in on the sheet which is located at the back of the room. As I mentioned earlier, we ask that you state your name and address, limit your comments to the proposed project and the financing, keep any comments to 3 minutes, and avoid being repetitive if possible. May I have the sign-in sheet now, and I will begin calling the names of those who are interested in speaking.
Shouldn't take you long.
Are you the bailiff?
Yeah.
Thank you to all who participated in the hearing. We appreciate your time and interest in the projects and the future of our community. Please note that this is just the first step in the legal process. The board will continue to work with the administration and its professionals to look for efficiencies to conserve tax dollars while meeting our educational needs. Stacy Barker, could you please summarize the additional appropriation resolution?
So this first resolution is the one that provides the approval for the corporation to actually appropriate formally the funds that will take care of these projects that Bruce needs.
Could I have a motion and a second to adopt the additional appropriation resolution?
Move to approve. Second.
Anthony made a motion to approve the additional appropriation resolution. Wes seconded. All those in favor? Stacy, could you please summarize the project resolution?
So a project resolution is required when schools plan to spend more than $1 million per building. So it'll contain the estimated hard and soft construction costs, as well as the cost of actually getting the issuance of the bonds. It establishes the total project cost. It also contains the estimated tax impact.
I have a motion and a second to adopt the project resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Made a motion to approve the project resolution. Craig seconded. All those in favor? Motion carried.
Our next resolution is actually called the final bond resolution, and it's the one that contains the project cost, maximum interest rate, and then other financial terms, such as the first interest payment date and the maturity dates for the bonds.
I have a motion and a second to adopt the final bond resolution.
Second.
Anthony made a motion to approve the final bond resolution. Larry seconded. All those in favor? Carried. Stacy, could you please summarize the amended and restated post-issuance compliance procedures of resolution?
Okay, this is the last one for the evening, and basically this is for the amended and restated post-issuance compliance procedures. I know that sounds so exciting, and it's about 21 pages. Aren't you glad I'm not reading it right now? So this is taking care of complying with the Securities and Exchange Commission rules and regulations. So the resolution specifically approves the procedure that we're going to follow on behalf of the school corporation.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the amended and restated post-issuance compliance procedures resolution.
So moved.
Wes made a motion to approve the amended and restated post-issuance compliance procedures resolution. Craig seconded. All those in favor? Superintendent's report.
Okay, I was going to mention, of course, everybody knows that we had students starting Monday. I will say that the last 3 days, our students have done a great job. They have really come in and I've talked to the principals and they said they're well behaved. They are following guidelines and rules. And of course, there's a lot of those because of the COVID and so forth. And the kids have been really good. Is all that I'm hearing, and our teachers have just done a great job in the buildings here, working through what we all know is very tough, difficult times, and they're doing a great job, and I really want to thank them for that. I have no idea what the future is going to be. we may be normal in a few weeks or months, and it may be worse in a few weeks or months. Who knows? But our hope is obviously that this will pass quickly and we can continue on with as normal a school year as possible. I'm not sure if there's a definition of normal anymore, but I know we're all hoping to get back to some semblance of what a school year looks like. But I just want to congratulate everybody and thank everyone for really a good start here this first half of the first week. It's gone smoothly with all of the changes and so forth. We've just done a very fine job, and I can't say enough for all of the people, all of the staff in each of the buildings. They've done a wonderful job. I will mention, because I know people are interested in attendance numbers and so forth, and I will say that we are down about 29 students in the corporation. Now, this varies from day to day, so any number I give you today is going to be totally wrong next week. But we're down about 29 students overall, and we have, as of this morning, there were 956 students that were in seats in the buildings, in class. And we had 85 students that were online, that's K-12. So that gave us about 1041 for students. And like I say, that was down about 29 students from what we had last spring. So for various reasons. And so we're down, which of course, obviously that means that budgets are going to be tight, because that can be $150,000 plus that we would be down unless those numbers grow. And of course, what we also know is that it's mid-September is our usually our first count, but I guess they did change it today, and it looks like it's going to be toward the end of the first semester before the count. So that may be better. We may get some different students in, additional students in. So really, what our funding is going to be based off of is anybody's guess, which makes it difficult to run a school corporation when it's going to be quite a while before you know how many students you're going to have and what the funding is going to be. But that's where we're at as far as attendance. So just under 1,000 in class and 85 students in online learning.
Any questions?
Yeah, we all know this is unprecedented, trying times. What kind of support do you need or do you expect from parents or the community at this time? Is there anything that anyone else can do to help with, all the additional challenges of this pandemic, or the things that are involved with it?
Most of it centers around helping to keep the students that are coming to school and online, helping to support them. Obviously, those that are doing online need help at home. It's difficult to do. Families that have kids online, they a lot of times need help. But I think the important thing is that we're trying to have an environment that the students feel safe in. You're worried, I'm worried about COVID. The community, everybody's worried about COVID. And the things that we're going through to try and keep the students from being fearful. I don't know if that's an impossible task or whatever when every one of us are walking around with a mask on, all the time. But anything that a family member or a community member can do to encourage, particularly young kids that don't understand as much as some of the older ones about it, just to encourage them and tell them that they're safe. We're working hard to do the best that we can, and anything I can do for you, you let me know. I think that's the important thing, is the mental attitude that our children in particular have about being in school right now. Because if you just watch TV, if I was that age, it'd scare me to death, and here we're not experiencing things as in-depth as you see in a lot of school corporations in Indianapolis and a lot of what they're experiencing. We've been more fortunate, I think, in Putnam County in particular, that our percentages and numbers and so forth are not anything close to what they'd be in Indianapolis and so forth. So I think it's something that you can encourage children and say that, hey, it's a lot safer here than it is other places. You're very fortunate that you live where you live and you have us around here to support you.
I would, I agree completely, because you really need to watch their mental health, for everybody, I know that. But also, parents, like, making sure that they monitor, like, how, if their kids start to feel bad or sick, make sure that they kind of keep up on that. I know that sometimes, like, oh, because I'm guilty of it, I used to, like, okay, it's just a sniffle, go ahead, go. But then you start being mindful of that, and then just communicating that to the school, have lots of open communication. Can't, you not talk too much. Just, and office, main office.
I'm kind of curious about, how much, or maybe not how much, to what capacity can we involve parents coming in and helping with, any sort of extra janitorial things or anything like that? Is there anything that is needed of the community in that regard, or can be allowed, or?
Well, we're really trying to limit the amount of people that come into our buildings. One of the important things that we're doing is in school we're trying to segregate kids as much as possible, keep them spread apart, and those types of things. And we really are limiting parent visits and things like that. And usually we'll say, listen, you're welcome. At any given day in a normal year, you go to Fillmore at Jill's school, and you see parents coming in and eating with their kids and doing those kinds of things. And really, we've had to stop all of those kinds of issues just because we want to protect everyone in the buildings. And so it's really not a situation where parents or community can really come into the buildings and help. We actually, the board approved an extra custodian a month or so ago here on campus to work between the gyms and help clean and so forth. And we've bought thousands of dollars of disinfectant and all those kinds of things to keep all of the facilities clean continually. And so from that standpoint, there's really not anything inside of the building, just because of the guidelines that we have in our effort to try and keep everyone that doesn't have to be in the building out, so they don't bring something in. But we appreciate all the support everybody gives, and most importantly, parents just giving support to the kids when they come home at night. I really think that's the most important thing. That mental health issue is something that is extremely important, and it's hard. It's more difficult for us to make that child feel good than it is the parents to make the child feel good at home. And that's what's really critical that we have.
Please pass on to parents that you talk to, though, that we dearly appreciate all the help that we've always had in the past, and that hopefully we'll get to a point where we can get some of that again.
Absolutely.
And so don't forget us, because we can always, it's always great to have more hands, more help, no matter what they're grades, whether they're kindergarten, even up to my fourth and fifth grade.
Anything else? Any comments or questions? Meeting adjourned.